And we are back, folks, on another edition of Behind the Uniform. This is where we take you inside, doing what these guys do on the football field for the Maize and Blue, but we also learn what they do off the field and who they are away from the field of play. And pleased to be joined by the guy who not only is the elder statesman of this program, Behind the Uniform, but the elder statesman for this football team, a leader, a guy who sets the tone for the Wolverines, sets the tone for Behind the Uniform. Rod Moore. Rod, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great, man. Glad to have you with us, and glad to have you talk to us about your journey, man. It's looking at your career, I'm proud to see your journey. At the same time, man, it's tough to see, but I'm proud to see your grind, man. So let's just start there to talk about the grind. I know it's tough to talk about setbacks, but at the same time, to watch you persevere, I can't help but be, overtaken with the pride that I see in how you've been able to kind of see your perseverance through that struggle. So talk to me about that and how that's been going for you so far.
Right now it's going pretty good. To be honest, at the beginning it was real hard. Especially coming back, like after the season that we had, coming off the Natty, that was like the main thing that I didn't want to happen, was to get hurt. And then, we went in the spring, got hurt, and then, it probably took me about 3 to 4 months to really kind of be cool with where I was at, because like I said, where I was trying to go. Like, that was the last year. I was trying to be captain. I was trying to, lead the team to something better. But, it's all part of God's plan. So, that's the thing that I've kind of been preaching and living by, and going through my mom and my dad, just staying positive about everything, because, you have those bad days where you get down and try to figure out, why am I going through this, or, try to pity and pout about it. But at the end of the day, there's always always someone going in a worse situation than you are. So right now I'm probably about, say, 85% back healthy. I'm doing everything, running, cutting, doing all the DB drills, but it takes a lot of time and kind of gets frustrating at times, but it'll be all right.
So frame of mind, I know you couldn't help it. We sat and heard your plan about and saw you on that path. So to adjust your mindset and to get more focused on a positive frame of mind, was that something that you were able to come to on your own, or did someone help you in adjusting your mind in that way? How did you get there?
But like I said, I think it was really my mom, my dad, and my god brother. They were always in my ear every day, making sure I was okay. Even the old coaching staff, the coach staff now and the old coaching staff, they always just making sure my head was in a positive state, because it wasn't over, because I had another year, but it was just, you just got to take your time and sit out. So it took me a while to realize that, and I'm at where I am right now, so I'm in a good place.
Yeah, man. There's also, as you talk about coming back, the rehab process, there can be a zealousness to it, a desire to kind of want to rush that process. Some guys to the point of even, trying to look for a doctor to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
How did you go about that process? In finding the doctor and going through the rehab process, what was your journey in that way?
It's been 15 months? What was that? Was that 15 months, I think, since I really got hurt. At first, to figure out who I wanted to do my surgery, I kind of wanted to go somewhere else just to get the best person to work on my body. So I think it was really my agent and then my mom. We were trying to, they had a list of guys that they knew, so we just chose the best one that we did our research on. And then just right now, trying to not rush the process. We have a plan in place for how and when I'll be back, so I can't really rush that, and I don't want to rush it, because you can't come back with ACLs and knee injuries. You can't come back too early, because you're at a risk to maybe get re-injured. So I think just being patient and letting God do His work, and just taking rehab every day and wait until I feel I'm 100%.
So it's in the physical part, because they say there's a physical part of the recovery from an injury. And then there's the mental part. So physically, where are you in the recovery process?
80, 85.
85%.
Yeah. Like I could sprint. It's just like trying to get my feet back under me. Like I didn't think it was gonna be this hard. Like trying to get back to backpedaling, braking, sprinting, turning, cutting. But like, bro, it's like kind of reteaching myself to do it all over again. So like, I'm not where I want to be at all, but I'm getting there.
So, is it one of those things where it's more like teaching yourself the coordination more than it is like the actual speed and physical quickness part of it? Is the teaching yourself the coordination part
Yeah, it's really
of it?
the coordination. Like I still got the speed that I have. Like when I'm doing the drills, I can still do it super fast. But like, it's just my steps. Like certain things I have to continue to do over and over and over. Like I won't even go to the next drill until I get it right because like, nah, I got to get it right before I just go to the next drill. You didn't get any better. So
Yeah. And that's where, the reps will come and camp will come. And so did they kind of give you a timeline for when you can kind of add the physicality to it? How's that gonna go?
To be honest, I think it's really based off how camp goes. Because like I will be in camp, but it's like obviously limitations and how they wanted me to go about it. But I would say basically whenever my knee feels right. Like I feel like I can do it, but I'm not back to like where I need to be out there.
And are you allowed to have like, someone there assessing you, or is your doctor kind of relying on your personal feedback to kind of tell them where you are in order to make that assessment?
They're all kind of in a loop. Like wherever I went, Michigan has like a connection with somebody to where they can just talk directly and go talk about how my rehab is going. So it's really all with the strength staff, my return to play guy, training staff, and then the doctor. They just all stay in the loop of how I'm doing things.
One of the things, talk about how proud from afar been of kind of watching you attack this whole situation. The other part of it is you stayed engaged with the team, man. While you going through your thing, you stayed leading these dudes. They were going through their own adversity of the season, right? Their own adversity with the transition, and you stayed steady leading them. So taking on that role of leader while you weren't playing, man, what was that like? And how were you able to do that? How were you able to compartmentalize like that?
My mom, like again, she always kept telling me, just because you're not out on the field, you still can make an impact in a different way. Like they voted you captain because they still see that you're a leader. So like, why not lead? Like the defense, you could teach people football, so why not do it? I took that and I just say, she actually right. Like I can't sit around here moping as the leader and expect them to go out there and perform well. That doesn't make sense. But like it was fun. It was actually really fun. Like I kind of figured out like I may want to coach after football because like it came naturally just being able to teach the younger guys what I knew because I've been doing it like for 4 years. So it was really fun. Like before games, I sometimes would be getting the guys pumped up, and halftime when they wasn't playing right, getting them pumped up. So it was really fun, but it was kind of hard at the same time. Like before the first game, I don't know why I forgot I wasn't playing, but I woke up thinking I was about to play. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not playing. Well, it's kind of felt different, but it was fun.
So, what kind of coach are you? Are you like Clink? Are you more like Lamar? Are you in between? Where are you as a coaching style?
I'm in between because I got coached by Clink, so that's hard coaching, and I was brought up hard parenting, like getting yelled at for not doing the right thing, and if you keep making the same mistake, you're gonna get yelled at. So like sometimes I would yell at them like, bro, we just told you not to do that. Why are you still doing that? But then it just depends who you are, or who the person is. Like how to approach certain people, because some people get mad you going back and forth,
right.
And some people will just take it. So you just gotta know who you're talking to, really.
Right. So if it's somebody that you feel like you need to get at like that, then you get at them like that. I got you. Yeah. All right. So you can adapt.
Yeah.
Clink only had one way though.
Yeah. He freshman year, he only had one way. I would say by my junior year, he adapted, but it still is Clink.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So what about Coach Lamar, man? Because obviously your relationship with him was different because as he came on, you're taking on the role of leader and coach. So how has your relationship with him developed over the course of the past year?
I mean, this has gotten stronger ever since he got here. As soon as he got here, he came straight to me, like, you know, trying to figure out the room, who's in the room, like, what do they do? Because, like, I guess Coach Minner appointed me as the main guy in the back end. But ever since then, like, you know, we just got tighter. He lets me coach in the room sometimes. Like, if he misses something on the film and I see it, I'll just, you know, raise my hand and say, can I address this? But, I mean, just every day, he checked on me multiple times through this rehab, prayed, sent a lot of scripture. So ever since, like, you know, we met, it was just getting closer and closer.
Yeah, man, I watched the evolution of the back end of that defense. And you talk about adversity. I mean, to have to play like they did without Will.
Mm-hmm.
First without you, and then without Will, thinking that you were going to have him.
Yeah.
And then have to see Zeke move around like he did all over the secondary. It was a whole lot of coaching.
Kari too. Kari down at nickel. He don't play nickel.
It was a whole lot of coaching that had to go on, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously Lamar, but it had to be a lot of people with their hands on that, man. So take me through, I know you had to be talking through to those guys all along the way as they were going through all of that, especially early in the season when I know dudes had to be swimming.
Shoot, how did it go? Like, I know early in the season, Texas, we lost that. That was just early in the season. Like, that, I'm not going to say we were supposed to lose that, but, like, we lost it. So, but, like, when it got to Oregon and I want to say Suge was out that game and we needed Suge, it was like, okay, who can go play corner? I want to say Zeke went out the corner that game or somebody.
Yeah, I know he went out the corner.
It was
Oregon,
early, right?
Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon. Yeah, that's why, because Suge had sat out because he had a concussion. So we over there trying to teach Zeke how to play corner. And, you know, Zeke was safety. Now he went back to nickel. Now he's going to the outside. Those are completely three different types of positions. So it took a lot of coaching. It took a lot of film study. It took us all sitting in the film room trying to figure out what's the best way to go about it and gel together to be able to win. Still didn't come out on the good side against Oregon. And who was the game? I think it turned around Indiana. Like, we didn't win, but the way the secondary played in that game was like, after that, it was just like boom, 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 boom. So I think it just took Zeke kind of a little time to get used to playing out there on the island, the corner, because that's a different animal. And we had Jair come back, and then Amir started stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, from there on, I mean, the safeties was cool. I think the safeties was cool the whole year. Like, you had the vets back there. They didn't really need my help. You had Cardi and Q back there the whole time, and West.
Right.
So,
right.
But I think towards the end of the year, like, we kind of knew, like, it was either we gonna look trash or we gonna look presentable. Like, even though we already lost 4 games, it's like we had Northwestern and North State. We either going 5-7 or 7-5.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Two things that I think you understand uniquely as a player who's been around and who knows ball, and then as a guy who kind of sees things through a coaching lens too, is first with Zeke. He said, you know, corner might seem like a harder position, and physically it can be, because you're out on an island against these guys. You got to run with some guys.
Mm-hmm.
But mentally, it's not.
It's not.
Compared to nickel.
Or safety.
So, you know, it seemed counterintuitive to think that position was actually somewhat easier than nickel. Talk us through that piece of it, because he was like, hey, man, once I got it, like the speed of it, it was actually an easier time out there at corner.
I can't personally speak from that because I remember Clean put me out at corner one time in practice, and I didn't feel right. So I didn't think it was easier because it's a completely different technique. At corner, you're going against one-on-one with somebody. You don't know how big they are. You don't know how fast they are. You got to know, you know, how they run releases, how they run routes. At safety, you kind of back there, you see the whole field. Like, you're the quarterback of the defense. You'll be able to see what the corner's doing, what literally everybody in front of you is doing. So, and then nickel.
He was comparing it to nickel, though, specifically.
Okay. So nickel and corner, like, nickel's the inside corner, say the corner's outside corner. So like I said, you don't know who you're going against on the outside. Nickel, on the other hand, in our defense, nickel, you can play outside. You end up at outside corner in a play. You can end up in the safety as a play. You can end up at nickel. You can end up blitzing. You can end up as a linebacker. You can end up anywhere as a nickel. So it's kind of like mentally you have to know what to do as a linebacker, what to do as a corner. Literally everybody on the field. Rather than corner, you're just worried about your technique and guarding the person in front of you. So it's like, yeah, nickel and corner on the mental aspect of it is like this.
Yeah, man. And so he blossomed. And maybe he would have blossomed at nickel if he had stayed there too.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that wouldn't have happened.
It do take a longer time to learn because I played nickel. And it's completely different than safety. So it's like, I didn't think I was better at nickel. I thought I was better at safety. So
yeah, but see, man, McCurry came down there and he was like, he held it down.
Yeah, he did.
You know, I mean, he may have made the play. I know we had, who was it that was in here? I think it was Jordan Marshall. He said, McCurry made that hit on my man in the Old State game. He said, that's when the game was over.
Yeah, he smacked Will hard. You could hear that on the sideline, too. He smacked Will.
Yeah, he said the game was over right there.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I think you could really speak to, so TJ was in here, and he said something last year. He said he was talking about when the page turned for the defense, and maybe it was around that Indiana game. But he said, you know, we're not pros. And Coach Wink stopped coaching us like that. And he kind of elaborated on it today. He said, you know, some of these young guys, you got to give them more instruction. And Will had actually kind of talked about that during fall camp. I'll never forget. He was like, man, some of these dudes, you can't just say blitz the A gap. You got to tell them what shoulder to attack. You got to tell them exactly, you know, when they get to the backfield, what angle to take. Like, you got to be more specific with a lot of these young guys because they are not pros. And so it was one of those things where it kind of felt like it took a little while for all of that to gel, kind of the pro coaching, college guys who have been successful, winning a national championship, and that mesh point to kind of come together.
Shoot. That took a lot. Because back in the spring, we bumped heads a lot. Like a lot. Like coaching staff and player, everybody was just bumping heads because we was never on the same page. And going through the summer, we kind of got a little better, but you know, camp came around and still was the same thing a little bit. Like we would bump heads, trying to figure out like, I don't think it was more so of like teaching the details. I think it was just us figuring out how Wink runs defense compared to Coach McDonald and Coach Minner. Because like, you know, they all come from the same defensive tree, but it's completely different. Like Wink has a different philosophy. He likes to get after the quarterback rather they like to let the guys up front eat and cover and just drop back in coverages. So I think that it just took the time of us, you know, meeting and figuring out what works well for the defense, like with the players that he had. Because, you know, up front you have guys like KG, Mason, Derek, all those, you know, big guys up front that can go. You don't even need a blitz. Like you can let them rush on their own. So like I think it took them a couple weeks to figure that out. And then I think it was just with the young guys like Will, like you were talking about with blitzing the A gap. You can tell they don't know what ABC gap is or or like the terminology of certain shit just because like they may never have sat down and got taught that.
Right.
We were kind of taught that. So, you know, I mean, it took me and Will taking everybody in the player-led back-end meeting and just teaching them the details of the defense because like there's very, very minimum people who know the details of it. You see the drawings, but like you gotta get down to the it-bit details of it to really be successful.
But man, it was like once it happened, and like it felt like that Indiana game. It was like this.
Yeah.
It was y'all took off, and it felt like the national championship year again because almost in an instant, y'all was shit. Indiana thought they was gonna run y'all off the field, and it wasn't even like that.
I seen that on film. They wasn't that good, but I mean, I think you said Indiana. Yeah, it was after the Indiana game. I also think it was the mindset of the team. Like, past 3-4 years, we were winning. We only lost, one time or 2 times each year. So I think it was just harder for our team to accept losing and just keep going instead of, you know, walking around the building mad because after that Texas game, I ain't never felt like that in Shim. Like, you know, it was quiet. You could tell, like, damn, we just got whooped at home. We ain't never get whooped at home like that. So I think it was just us figuring out, like, yo, okay, it's 2 games left.
Mm-hmm.
It's either you gonna fold or you gonna go attack. So that's what it was.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I want to remember this point, because I think it was Max who pointed you out from a leadership perspective. He said you addressed the team. He said,
"Oh yeah,
we either gonna fold right now, or we gonna win the rest of these games."
Nah, I said this. I got in front of the team. I said this. Nah, I can't cuss. But this SHIT is weak. Like, what are we doing? I was just like, bro, we either gonna go 5-7 or 7-5. I was like, y'all pick. I was like, I'm not out there, but like, bro, we ain't never lost this many games, and I said probably 75% of everybody in this room ain't never lost to Ohio State. So we not about to do that this year. And then Jay Stu said something, Kari said something, so it just like was all the leaders and all on one.
Yeah, well, and the rest they say is history, which we will pick up. But you know, history is being written as we speak when it comes to NIL. This era of college sports will be remembered as the dawn of a new era, as we see revenue sharing now. College is now paying student athletes directly. And what are those student athletes doing with their money? Are they investing in their financial futures? That was one of the things that spawned this platform and why we started what we call the Financial Literacy Bootcamp. Part of the Financial Literacy Bootcamp entails sending these guys over to the University of Michigan Credit Union, where they spend time with our partners over there, going through a series of financial scenarios. And so here is that part of the journey.
Thank you guys so much for coming. We are so excited. This is our second year behind the uniform. And so U10 players have been hand selected really as players that we see giving back to the community, giving back to the Michigan fans, as folks that we cannot wait to see hit the field.
I'm Rob Moore, I play defensive back. It's my 5th year at Michigan.
Yep.
I'm from Dayton, Ohio. Be intentional. Think about tomorrow, today. Basically, just put up like
plan ahead
percentage of your earnings, like when you first get it, so you can have savings for later on.
Who makes your financial decisions for you? Max, who makes those?
It's us.
You do, right? TJ, who's making your financial decisions?
Me.
Yeah, you're the driver of your own bus, and in some ways that's empowering, and in other ways it can be a little scary, because a lot of this stuff, you know, we're just learning and stuff like that. So we use, these are all great principles, but we really like to encourage people that we're working with, hey, you're the driver of your bus. You make the decision. He's single, he's 25, he's got a nice job in Chicago, he's living on his own right now, and he's making $8,000 a month, net, after taxes and deductions, stuff like that, but he's not sure where to spend it. And we're gonna have the yellow team back there, the blue team right out in the hall, and I'm just curious, what would you do if Kenneth asked you for some help? He's like, you know, gosh, I got good money, but how much should I spend on my apartment? How much should I save? How much should I invest? And you guys know there's got to be some entertainment. There's got to be a bat. Look at all those categories. There should be a dollar amount in every single one of them. What you all decide to do is going to be up to you. Spend it down to zero. Borrowing. Rod, bad idea? Should you never borrow money? Tell me, oh, you're saying never? Tell me why you would. Why you would, though. I got a feeling someday, Rod, you're going to want to borrow.
Like, we need a roll or something like that, but I wouldn't borrow the house. It's like a house, I would borrow.
There you go. Okay, Max, is that where you're going to confer with him? Yeah. Borrowing money is not a bad thing as long as you can safely afford to repay. That's all. Yeah, there's a lot of really good reasons to borrow.
So Rod, veteran of this playbook for prosperity, your second time through. I know you took away some big lessons from your last time through. What about your second time through here at UMCU, this playbook for prosperity? What plays did you take away this time?
I know the first time I came around here, I kind of didn't know a lot of stuff, but this time I kind of knew really the basics of financial literacy. But really the main thing is just to be smart with your money, especially at the age that I'm at. Making the amount of money that we make here playing college football is kind of a different amount. You have to be smarter in investing, saving, creating a budget, and looking at the outside perspectives and details that allow you to make those budgets.
One of the things that I think they've done a great job is having you guys think big picture, think long term, saving for your future. But I thought they nailed down the here and now too. Like, hey, you got to be thinking about paying your car insurance, paying your rent, getting groceries. And a lot of your teammates, some of those things they weren't as familiar with, man. Like, hey, you got to pay your cell phone bill. You got to pay your internet bill. They didn't know how much those things cost. Did you have to school them on those kind of things?
A little bit. I kind of knew I got to pay my car bill right now. I had 2 phones, so I got to pay both of my phone bills. And kind of schooled them on a little bit of that, but it comes with years of experience.
Yeah, so if you had to talk about to some of your younger teammates and even some young people who might be watching this, what are some of the easier lessons that you can tell them that they can apply right here, right now, that they can maybe take from you watching this, that they can apply to their lives?
I would just say you are the person that makes your financial decisions, but also have somebody that guides your mind, because you don't know everything. There's a lot of people that do this for a profession that can guide you in the right ways, and just find who you trust to help you make those decisions.
Yeah, apply that playbook for prosperity, just like you are.
Yep.
That's right. Another part of the journey is when the guys make their way over to Morgan Stanley and spend time with Dave Hemmick and his team over there at Morgan Stanley, where they talk about investing in their financial futures and putting money away that might serve them well 20, 30, 40 years down the line. I know you've done that over your years here with us on the platform, Rod. So, I know I've been talking to you now for a couple of years about, investments and putting money away, and are you, planting those seeds for your retirement? So how has that process been going for you? I know initially you were like, but
early on I was like, I don't really know nothing about that. I never seen this type of money before, but over the years I've just been running into a lot of financial people and learning how you gotta make your money make money for you. And this money that we're making now is nowhere near gonna last for the rest of your life. I'm only 22. So I think just investing in different avenues and putting your money in different type of things and letting it grow for you really is gonna take me a long way. And I'm still learning, obviously, because I don't know the ins and outs of it, but just being smart with your money.
The concept of being able to fund your retirement in college. I don't even think when NIL first began, the guys were really thinking about it that way. They were like, hey man, I can put some money away and have some money for once I start my professional career, some of this money can help me now. But now the money is so big that guys could literally have their retirement accounts funded during their college years. I mean, have you started to think about it in that way?
Yeah, I've actually did some of that for tax purposes, and also hearing that, you don't hear that growing up, especially in college, trying to set yourself up for retirement. You don't retire until you're 50, 60 years old. I got 30 more years. So it's just hearing that, it's a good avenue to take, especially when you talk about generational wealth and trying to, you know, create that for people in your family in the long run.
Mm-hmm. You know, NIL and the process of how it has come into college athletics and, you know, kind of setting yourself up. Have you, in the leadership perspective, do you ever talk to teammates about it, or does that stay kind of out of the realm of leadership and guys kind of keep that all personal into themselves?
I kind of keep that to myself because, like, in this day and age, it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, kids are coming out of high school making money that some guys in college never seen, or people in the NFL don't even see. So, like, I want to, but at the same time, they're young. Mm-hmm. They want to have their fun. Like, they gonna hear it, but at the same time, is they really gonna do it? And I don't like just sitting there saying stuff just to say it. So,
yeah, you don't waste your time. I hear that. But you know, for you personally, to kind of see how things have evolved at this time, there's been certainly a lot of growth. Definitely, as the money has grown and it keeps getting bigger in this day and age of NIL. So it definitely will serve guys. Do guys a great service if they start taking the message. Definitely when taxes roll around. I know we've seen a lot of guys get caught up in that way. Taxes roll around and they get hit hard.
Yeah.
I know that first year, man.
Yeah. Thought somebody got my bank account. When the taxes came around, I said, hold on.
Hey, but you know, you do a little bit more planning.
Yeah.
You know, and you're ready this day and age, though. So guys learn and know a lot more. But that's what the Financial Literacy Bootcamp is all about. So, Rod, preparation. You helped get the guys prepared. You talked about either we're going to go 7-5 or we're going to get run out of here. You go out and play the best game of the year as a team against Northwestern, and then getting ready for O State. Nobody on earth gave you guys a chance to even be in that game, let alone win it. And I remember Mason, I never forget, in the offseason said we got a chance to be a better defense than we were in the national championship year. And I remember looking at him like he was crazy. But in that game, it looked like that, man.
Yeah.
And y'all didn't even have the full allotment of guys on defense. I mean, you weren't out there. Will wasn't out there. And yet it was unreal the way they played, man. So I don't know what happened in practice that week.
It's just that week. It's like, I don't know. Like, everything in the season matters for sure. But, like, when we about to play that game, bruh, like, we just kind of feel like there's no way we going to lose this game. If we was 2-10, 2-11, whatever it was, I'm doing wrong math, my bad. But, shoot, we not losing. I'm not losing that game. I would never lose that game, bro. Like, nah. So
you know, my man just said that down there. He said, I ain't never losing to Michigan ever again.
Where?
My man, Jeremiah Smith, just said that. He said, I guarantee you, we're never losing that game ever again.
Yeah, I don't like talking, but okay. Okay. You know how many people say that before, but okay. That's all I'm going to say.
So, you get in that game, man, and speaking of Mason, Charles Woodson had a great game. Desmond Howard had a great game. You can see skilled guys when they have great games. Mason, KG, what they did in that game is right up there with the great performances we've ever seen in that contest for what they did. That defense, it was unreal, bro, what they did.
Yeah.
In
like all
spurring
levels,
the team to victory.
All levels was out there. The linebackers
Kari,
was hitting. Kari, pick, Kari. Somebody else, Amir had that pick.
Amir had the pick.
Yeah, everybody was just playing at a high level on defense. Defense wins games. I mean, it was 13-10 with 6 field goals.
At what point? Because you said, hey, you knew that game was different, but you know there had to be a point in the game.
Amir's pick, because we seen it all year in practice, but he hadn't done it in the game. And then once he threw a pick like that straight to Amir, I'm like, oh yeah, it's something messing with them over there. Like they not locked in. And then when Kari, like you said, when Kari hit bruh, And there was one more play, bro, but I just remember running on the field when Amir caught the pick. I forgot that I wasn't playing. I like literally ran on the field. I got a flag for it. It was a sideline warning. I was like, oh, my bad. But like I kind of knew then everybody's on that. Everybody's on that type of level to win this game because they weren't moving the ball for real.
Curry had a pick too. He had to hit and a pick.
Yeah, the receivers weren't getting off on anything like how they were all year. So I think, shoot, you seen it from the first half. Like, we were in the halftime, it was like, oh, yeah, it's a game, bro.
Yeah, and they could not block. Mason and KG. They couldn't block. Okay.
I mean, them two, they went first round. Them two, some different. Playing with them for 3 years, that was great. I mean, 2 years, yeah. I ain't never played with no D-line like that.
Yeah, man. So I've asked you this in roundabout ways before. Game means more. It means more it means a lot to everybody who comes to Michigan, but for guys from Michigan and Ohio, I just think it has a different meaning. So now, an Ohio guy to have a winning streak in that game, and then you go down there again when nobody gives you a chance. What did that feel like? This one, I know all of them been special, but this one in particular, nobody gave y'all any kind of chance to even be in the game. What did this one feel like compared to the other ones?
All of them are special for sure. But I would say this one's special just because, like, I think a lot of us growing up were always doubted in some way. And for everybody to count us out like that, I don't even remember what the point favorite was, but I think it was something crazy. It was just like, all right, we're just going to prove y'all wrong again. And then after the game, man, you saw the fight. It started off with a lot of us doing what we did 2 years prior when we won. We planted a flag on the O, and they got mad. But we stood on that field for so long just sitting there like, dang, we came down here and did what everybody said we couldn't do. So, like, I think that's what made it special more because, like, it's kind of similar to 21. Like, we were good, but people still swore we was going to lose to all the guys that they had over there. So I think, those 2 years are comparable, but for sure this past one was like, yeah, we proved everybody wrong.
So you had to, as a team, prove everyone wrong again in the same year in kind of the same way because, man, now Mason and KG sit out. And none of Bama's guys are sitting out. So what now? Nobody's giving y'all a chance to win. And the guys who are coming back with you this year go out and ball out. So what about the preparation for that game, that contest?
I can't really speak on that because I was in Chicago getting my second surgery. So I really don't know the preparation, but I was watching on the couch, and they just came out with a different. I was yelling at the couch. Like, I was yelling at the TV on the couch, like, oh, they on that. Like, they came out on that type of time, and Alabama couldn't move the ball. So
then let's speak on that because you said you wanted to speak on that first. So let's just start there. You want to bring people up to speed.
So basically, I know a lot of people think it's just my ACL that was making me sit out for like this amount of time, but from the day I had surgery was back in April of 24. I was going through rehab the whole time. It was going good. And then, like, when I started to try to run, I had a pain that I kept feeling like on the inside of my knee. And when I first got injured, I tore my ACL, both meniscus, MCL, and then I had a defect on my bone from them two hitting each other. So at first they were trying to figure out like why my leg was still hurting, and I'm trying to figure out like, yo, it's not supposed to be still hurt when I'm running. So then went back in, got an MRI, and the medial meniscus was still torn, and they never fixed it during the surgery. Because I thought maybe I re-injured it doing some BS around here, like jumping around for the team, but like it was on the MRI from before and the MRI that I got, it was still on there. So then at first I tried to do a PRP injection to see if like the pain would subside, and then it would help, go through the rehab, and it didn't get any better. So then at that point it was just to repair the meniscus. So I had to go back in and get another surgery, which is a meniscus repair. And then now I'm just really on that. ACL is 100% clear. Everything's clear, but the ACL is really like out the window. It's just meniscus and all that coming back on now.
Yeah, so now sounds like it's just, like you said, just the coordination part of it now. And so you get in camp, get back to who you were before, which is best safety in the country, right on that path to the NFL.
You know I went back to 19.
Yeah. Is that what it was? But you said 2019? Is that what you said?
No, I went back to number 19.
Oh, went back to the number 19.
Yeah.
Best safety in the country. And so I didn't know you went back to 19.
Yeah, I made a decision like 2 days ago.
Okay.
3 days ago.
Yeah, so take it back. Hey man, might as well, right?
Back to the basics.
Bring back some karma and some nostalgia at the same time. This defense is different, but at the same time, man, it hasn't really mattered. The faces have changed, but the standard hasn't. We've seen different guys rotate in, and you guys still perform at a high level. And we heard TJ talk about it. He said, you guys are really, really deep, and he expects for the performance to still be at a high level. So what do you see when you look at this year's defense?
I see the same thing, especially like I was about to point out a position group, but we're deep everywhere. I mean, we're starting the back end. We're young, but we have guys that's played a good amount of football, like TJ Metcalf, me, Zeke, B. Hill, Mason, Jair, and then we're trying to bring Shamari along, but and then that transfer from Louisiana, Caleb. So I think we're pretty deep back there. It's just, being able to execute everything. Linebackers, you got Ernest and Jay Sean. I mean, those two, look at them, big, scary dudes. And then Jimmy behind them, and then 2 freshmen, Chase Taylor, 3 freshmen, Chase, Nate, and Troy Bowles. Everybody are good players. And then up front, I mean, we lost Mason and KG, but you got Ray Sean, you got Trey, Ike, D Payne, on edges, TJ, Derek, Cam. I mean, it's just, you see me naming over 20 people, so it's just, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see, but I know it's gonna be something different.
Coach Moore is not one to really, he's not one for hyperbole, but he's like, hey man, this dude that we got from Arkansas, TJ Metcalf, he's gonna be one of the best dudes in the Big Ten from day one. I was like, hold up, man.
Yeah.
You kind of going out there real big. He's not. Yeah. He's gonna be one of the best dudes in the Big Ten from day one.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. Cause I watched this film when we got him. I was watching this film because I needed to see who I was about to play with. So I'm like, yo, he making some plays, and that's Arkansas. They playing SEC teams every week, so that's something you can go by. And then just seeing him go through the spring, I watched the whole spring. He was making plays left and right, and he knows football. He's been playing in college for 2 years? So it's yeah, you'll see. Number 7 gonna be somebody out there that's making plays.
Yeah, man. So, but again, to focus back on you talked about what your kind of physical gunning looks like. It's really got to be dependent on how your body responds in practice. And so if you could project, what do you think that looks like? You said how camp goes. It sounds like this is probably a situation where you're looking to return sometime into the season, probably, as opposed to before the season. Is that a realistic expectation?
Yeah, that could be realistic because, like you said, it's how camp goes. And shoot, if it goes rocky, game 1's out the window. Mm-hmm. Maybe game 2, I don't know. I'll really know in 2 to 3 more weeks, really, where I'm going to be at. Mm-hmm. So that's probably the halfway point of camp. I'll really know, okay, maybe this is a week 2 thing, or it just all depends.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking, because I know when I originally kind of thought about Rod Moore's return, I was like, man, Rod could really do anything.
Yeah.
He's like a chess piece back there. But are we talking purely safety for you? Or are we talking about them that being that chess piece guy, really they could play you anywhere in the secondary?
I would like to think so, because that's what the plan was before I got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doing that a lot in the spring, just moving me around and having me blitz from different places and stuff. But I really haven't had that conversation yet with Wink, mm-hmm. just because I've been so focused and worried about trying to get healthy. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I'm kind of going to figure out what my role is, how they going to use me this year.
And so you said something very interesting that I think brings a lot of color to the evolution of the defense under Wink last year. You said, kind of learning this group, you know, how to use this group in his defense, and then y'all learning him. Well, now y'all know each other. So how does that look in year 2, knowing each other? What does that mean for the defense this year?
For sure, going to jump. Like the jump start not going to take too long to get going. It's going to start from the jump, really, because like you said, we know each other now. We know how he calls, what he wants, you know, certain down the distances. So I think it'll be a lot easier for us to execute everything. Mm-hmm. And I know he's going to have a lot more like different things to do, new things that come from his playbook, and I think it'll be real good for us.
Yeah, and I you know, I don't want to heap too many expectations on people, but I know when we saw it, I remember your breakout. Like, man, you know, your second year, you really talk. You can see guys when they really take off, man. So, I mean, do you see guys who you feel like are poised to you watch based on what you've seen in practice, or who you really are expecting their arrow to shoot up this year?
I mean, I'd say B. Hill for real, Brandyn Hillman. Like, he kind of like had a 180 turn to the person he used to be as far as mentally in the building, you know, being locked in. I think because now he sees he can play and make plays actually. So I think he'll be a lot different than what you guys have seen. He's already been making plays, but it'll be probably play after play after play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Indiana, he was another one, that Indiana game. Seemed to be the one.
He was coming down laying the wood. He the hardest hitter safety in the room, but I'm not too far behind.
Right? I figured that was coming. Well, like I said, man, Rod, it's been, like I said, man, proud of your journey, man. Perseverance through adversity. You know, see you get stronger. You know, we're going to see you on the field doing your thing again, man. So keep grinding. Looking forward to seeing you on the field this fall, man. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
That does it for another edition of Behind the Uniform.